Hey guys, so I just want to do a little update about what's going on in the United States right now because things are getting pretty scary over there. So as I'm sure everybody's aware, Donald Trump has basically deported a plane full of immigrants, or what he says are immigrants, to El Salvador, has left them there and said, sorry, we can't do anything about getting them out. In the meantime, it has been determined that not one of these people that they are aware of has any formal charges against them, has any actual criminal record, has no charges against them in El Salvador. The government actually admitted that one of these men was innocent and had no charges against him, and then they deported him. And now that the Supreme Court voted 9-0 to tell him to return this man home, he doubled down and has said, nope, he was absolutely a gang member. He's a terrorist. He's all of these things, and we're not bringing him back. At the White House press conferences, they continue to double down and say how terrible of a person he was and how could Democrats possibly want this kind of person in our country. And they're going over the top with it. But the key point is they're refusing to bring him home. And now they're finding more people who have been deported as well, who have no charges against them. It's also been determined that women and children have been basically taken and put in prison camps in Texas area. Some people have no idea where their family members are. Another guy has been completely disappeared. His family doesn't know where he is. He was transported to a facility and his family had last contact with him like a week ago. And now nobody has a clue where he is. Nobody can find him. In the meantime, RFK Jr., the head of their health and safety, I don't know his official title, anyway, Director of Health and Human Services, whatever, has now created, by stealing it with Doge, created an actual list of all the people in America who have or have been diagnosed with autism. So we all know that RFK Jr. keeps talking about a cure for autism and how they need to make it go away, when they don't actually acknowledge that autism is not a disease. Autism is a neurological effect that was formed at birth. It's not a disease that you can fix. So now let's add to that the fact that Donald Trump is now offering $5,000 to women to have children. Have a baby, get $5,000. Oh, not only that, if you are going to university and you are married and have a child, we'll pay for some of your education. Children go to university at 17 years old. How many people at 17 years old do you know that are married and have a child? Now, they'll only give this money and support to someone who is married, which generally speaking, the percentages tend to be white people that are married and have families. This is eugenics. This is eugenics. They want white men to procreate, and they are going to promote this by offering white women money to do so. They are kicking out the immigrants because anybody with dark skin is not worthy to procreate. Anybody who looks different than you is not ready to procreate. Then they want to take anyone with autism and wipe them off the planet, because they have said many times, people with autism can't get a job. People with autism are useless to society. People with autism just cost us money. So if he can swipe anybody off the street because of the color of their skin and deport them to El Salvador, and now is making a registry of all the children with autism, what do you think he's going to do with that list? They are literally offering a Medal of Honor to women who have more than 6 children. This is what the schmotzies did. They actually offered medals of honor to women who had more than 6 children. What they don't tell you, though, is the $5,000 they're offering you to have a child is probably going to go straight into your hand and right back to the hospital, because it costs about $15,000 every time you have a child in the United States. But they're not offering any sort of help for childcare, for education, for clothing, for food. They're not offering any help for that. They just want to give you a medal for having a baby. They've also discussed anybody who's mentally ill being put in assistance camps where they can help these people get better. They're going to disappear those people. They want to preserve the pristine white race with no congenital defects, no disabilities, no autism, no people of color. Basically, any white Christian nationalist, that's who they want to procreate. Anybody else is going to get shipped off to internment camps. Fascism is happening right now. Not in the distant future, not in a dystopian time, right now. Eugenics is taking place in the United States of America right now in 2025. They also want to offer women the ability to take a course on their menstrual cycle so they can understand it better so that they can get pregnant easier. But meanwhile, they've canceled all research and funding that has anything to do with the word woman in it. For years, women's research has gone underfunded. They don't have enough research on menopause. They don't have enough research on hormones. They don't have enough research on endometriosis. But boy, they got Viagra, no problem. The United States government has no interest in the well-being of women. Absolutely none. They see women as breeders and nothing more. And if you haven't seen The Handmaid's Tale yet, it's here. You don't need to watch it. It's here right now. This is what's happening. And now you see in Canada, Pierre Poilievre running on increasing border security. Why do you think he needs to increase border security? It has nothing to do with fentanyl. It's because he's made a backdoor deal with Donald Trump to keep Americans in America. He doesn't want them seeking asylum in Canada. They are literally working on ways to imprison their people, to populate their people with white, straight Christian nationalists, and punish anybody else who's not. And on top of that, Trump is pushing this narrative in other countries. He's threatening the United Kingdom with, if they don't cancel their DEI policies, he's going to stop trade with them. If you haven't seen my videos yet on the IDU, please go look it up. But any country I'm about to speak of is part of this union. So in Hungary, Viktor Orban has now made it illegal to do any kind of pride march or display pride flags anywhere. The UK has now reversed its decision on trans women being identified as women. Australia has a man named Peter Dutton who's come in, who's already started the whole rage on trans people thing. He's working on getting into parliament. Their election is a week after ours, I believe. The Republicans are involved with the IDU, and the Conservative Party of Canada is involved with the IDU. This is a global fascism push. Everybody on the planet that is involved with the IDU has taken Donald Trump's lead and seen that he is the one that has opened the door for this to happen. They watched him explode onto the scene with all his negativity and hate, and they all took it as a sign of go, go, go. This is our time. We need to push for this in order for all of us to be successful. They have children as young as 4 years old, who they will not represent in court with a lawyer because they told them there wasn't enough money. 4-year-olds have to defend themselves in court before they're deported or sent away. There was an 8-year-old girl arrested on the side of the road with her Lisa Simpson t-shirt on as she was headed to school. She was put in handcuffs and thrown in a vehicle. They do not care about you. They do not care about anyone. This is about eugenics and popularizing the white Christian nationalist race. And Pierre Poilievre is all over it. You see in Canada, he's already started the trend against woke ideology. He's talking about women's biological clocks. These are all of the same talking points that Trump has, and it's coming for Canada, and we need to stop it because the rest of the world is waiting patiently to see what Canada does. Do we stand up to fascism or do we fall in line? The United States is going to hell in a handbasket, and if we elect Pierre Poilievre, we're going for the ride. So what can we do? We need to start shutting down the rhetoric. We need to start shutting down the rhetoric against women in Canada. It is time to start speaking up. It is time to start saying things out loud. No more sitting in the corner, letting men make jokes about us being in the kitchen doing the dishes. It is no longer acceptable. That behavior is no longer acceptable. And all of you need to stand up and stop this because it is oozing into our country and we need to shut it down. To all my friends in the United States, I am so sorry that this is happening to you. To my fellow Canadians, stop it now.